Hey everybody, hope you guys are doing well. Welcome to Hex Token channel, second live stream for the day. Of course, Pulsechain, Pulsex, and Hex. That's pretty much what we cover twice a day on this channel. If you haven't subscribed, smash that subscribe button. Definitely hit the like button. And of course, we're gonna have a bit of fun with today's live stream. So we're gonna obviously update the prices as well since our first live stream today. In terms of Hex, Maxi, Hedron, Pulse, Dodge, and quite a few others. So stay tuned for that. It's gonna be a lot of fun. We hope they'll be entertaining. It's going to be entertaining. That's how we roll here. Hashtag Superman in the house. So let's have a lot of fun with this. I think I've got the audios running really nicely there. So way to go. Bam. And let's see who's in the chat there as well. We have it's now in the house there. Nodding out, Superman. Have a great stream. It's now. Rest up well. We'll catch you tomorrow. Well deserved, no doubt. Hex Biker in the house as well. Hey from the UK. Good morning all. Hex Biker in the house. Yeah. Probably a lot of people waking up in the UK. I guess it's probably still pretty early in the morning there. Must be, what, 6 o'clock or something like that? Actually, I think I have a time zone. I've got, I've got Paris. Paris, it's, what's it, 8 o'clock? 8 o'clock in Paris. Sydney, what's Sydney? 3:45 in the afternoon, I think, in Sydney. Tokyo is 1:45 in Tokyo. I need to add the London or something like that there. That'd be pretty cool. Let me know what time it is in London there at the moment. Very cool to see people from the UK in the house. Pulsar Beta's there too. Hello, Superman. Always good to see Pulsar Beta. And Blob Fish King as well. Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo. Yeah, I forgot about the chant there. That's the anthem, the channel chant for sure. I'm getting a bit of a stutter these days. I need to make sure I keep my water update going. There we are, very cool. So here we are on Hex.com, folks. If you haven't checked it out, supercharged certificate of deposit on the blockchain. Definitely check it out. Do your investment due diligence. It's got a good how to buy section at the top here. And of course, if you stake, longer pays better, pretty much. So it's basically staking means kind of investing. It's a little different, but essentially you're investing. And of course, you can earn up to about 38% for about a 6.4 year investment period. So the longer you stake, the more you get. Pretty cool. I think on a monthly basis, annualized, it's around about 11%. If you do it an annual basis, I think it's around about 30%. Definitely check that out. In any case, check out Hex.com. Make sure you're using the official site, so it's Hex.com. No other sites. There's some phishing sites out there. Gotta be careful. Also, you can use the how to buy there as well. You can also, if you've got a MetaMask, you can buy through Uniswap. If you're doing smaller buys, I suggest that. If you're doing bigger buys, suggest you do a limit order on matcher.xyz. You can click the how to buy. In any case, it will show you the process if you're new to crypto. Get a MetaMask, buy some Thief, and swap for Hex, and then stake it on go.hex.com. We're going to look at a bit more of that later on, so stay tuned. Let's get into the prices, folks, of Hex at the moment. And of course, it's been on a major pullback, so we're going to talk about that too. Possible says the only interesting Hex channel there is currently, all the rest of them have turned into snooze fest, talking about gun laws and the Second Amendment. I mean, what WTF says Pulse about it? Yeah, I like to stay on top. I mean, this is a crypto channel. Occasionally I might slip out a few things, politics, but you guys know me. I like to stick to the content, which is crypto, in particular Hex, Pulsechain, and Pulsex is kind of the bed and brother. So yeah, I like a lot of shuttles out there covering different topics. That's their thing. People like that. They can go to that, of course. If you want full-on content around the Richard Hart ecosystem, this is the particular channel for that. I like to stay tuned. I've got other YouTube channels. I cover other topics there, and if you like those topics, you can go there to watch those too. That's just the way it is, right? So I like to keep to the bread and butter for sure. Pulse better. Bobfish King says, does good accounting cost the same as an in-stake? I'm not sure about this one. Good accounting, does it cost the same? You are not minting anything. I don't think it would be this high. You are not minting anything at that time. You are just pulling the shares out. So I wouldn't think so. I don't think you're invoking the S-load function that I can tell. Just thinking about that is a good question. I haven't been asked that before. I would suggest it's going to be lower. If you actually mint the tokens out of your stake, then you would have to run the S-load function every single day of the stake that's been served. And of course, that's going to cost you storage fee there. That would add up to the in-stake fee. So I imagine good accounting is cheaper. Good point. So I haven't done a good accounting on any stakes, Bold Fish King, so I'm probably not the best to ask maybe you could ask someone in Discord if they've done good accounting. I have not actually run that function. So yeah, good question though. I would imagine it's a lot cheaper, is my guess there. Brazil says, woo-hoo-hoo-hoo. Good to see you, Brazil. And it's now nodding out hard, but need to see another wrench before I pass out. It's now. I thought you're gone to sleep. It's now. It's the fighter. It's the fighter. Probably still trying to fight. I gotta stay up. I love it. Brazil says, no one is more consistent than my man, Superman. Hey, Briz, appreciate that. Big shout out. Hey, Instagram model love to you, Briz. That's how we roll here. There he is. Thanks, Briz. Sleeping now. Yeah, Briz is in the house there. We've got a good old moderator in the chat there. What else we got there? Briz got the piece out. Brazil's good accounting cost about the same amount. Oh, it is about the same. That's just bizarre. Maybe it has to calculate. Maybe it has to calculate all the fees and put that in a memory in the memory there. Maybe that's what it does. So that's probably Brazil is possibly right there. Seems to be the case, because if you did calculate the S-load function, you just parlay that into just a memory file when you do want to mint the token. So that probably is the case. Good one. KD's in the house there. Hey all, woohoo! Good to see you, KD. 6:51 a.m. in London. CX Parker. Nice. That's cool. Very early. Yeah, I was going to say, because I used to live stream at about 7 o'clock, and I think it was about 7:30, 8 o'clock in London. So it's good to know. Simple Believer says this bear market is a pain in the something, but sticking it out. Hey, Simple Believer, I think we're only in a half bear market, so hopefully that's not bad news. But definitely it has the bearish feeling to it for sure. But it could be much worse. I've been pretty happy about Bitcoin and stuff staying up where it is at this stage. In fact, we're going to talk about that shortly. We've got Bitcoin here at the moment. So let me get out of the 3-day trial there. We've got Bitcoin here at the moment. So, this could go much further down, as we talked about. It's got very bearish lines on it, right? It's all these bearish lines, 50-day moving average, 200-day, 100-day and 200-day moving average, very bearish. We're staying at the sidelines here. This is, but we can't get off the level here, 29,400. I'm hopeful that we go higher, because nothing's inevitable, right? But we're still in that bearish sort of line there, holding this key pivotal line. That's for sure. That's it. This is where we are. We drop down from there and get a big move down to 22, 23. That'd be. I still think that's more likely at the stage. So let's. I've got that at probably a 65, 35, 35% on the way up there, but that may be a bit overstated. Maybe it's even worse than that. So 2/3, 1/3 is my likely there. Let me know in the chat what you guys think. Mr. Faraj from India's in the house there. Good morning, sir. Good to see you, Mr. Faraj. Katie in the house there as well. Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo. Bread and ducks. We love the bread and ducks. Faraj says woo-hoo as well. Lots of love from Calcutta, India. Big shout out, Mr. Faraj again. I came in late. I must have missed the new boutique Hex Token intro. They've done we had a poll on the intro, and remember we didn't quite get a majority there. We got what was it, 48, 49? I can't remember now. I don't think it was quite. I wanted, if I'd got 2/3, like maybe 67%, I might have gone for that, but we didn't quite get there. Result says, I did good accounting once, thinking it would be cheaper later on, and it was basically double the fee. I was a little ticked off and never did good accounting again, losses, Briz. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I might look into that a bit further, but once again, that's kind of thing. I guess you can go to the contract and check out what's going on there. I imagine that if it costs similar to an end stake move, a function, that it still has to calibrate the S load, and so it have to still run every day to work that out. And then it must put that in some sort of memory function once you do actually mint the end stake function, actually pulls that out. But it's kind of surprising to me. I'll double check that though. Good question. And like I say, I've never done the good accounting. Bob Wells in house there. Woohoo! Good to see you, Bob Wells. And Hex, Property Review in house. Hex, let's get back to 20 cents. Says Property Review. I like it. You're thinking there, Property Review. Good to see you in the house there as well. Hey, if you haven't subscribed to Property Review, go check out Property Review channel if you like property. Top properties in the world. Property Review does some pretty good videos on that. We also had Property Review as a guest on the show a few weeks back, so definitely go subscribe to Property Review there. You can check the channels tab. I think I put Property Review on there too, if you like to get reviews on expensive properties. Bob Wells in the house there with the legendary emojis, looking good. Looks good against the black background I can see there on my second computer. Mr. Ross says, one good news, RH and Hex will fly skyrocket. I like that, Mr. Ross. We appreciate that. That's an update from Calcutta, India there. I love it. Brazil says, I have a stake ending on the 15th and July the 1st. I will take screenshots of the good accounting and the end stake for you. Hey, Brizz, I appreciate that. That'd be really, really cool. I'll have a look at the contract function as well. Baldfish King says, thanks for the info on good accounting. I have a small test stake coming out in August. I will probably just let it bleed on the Ethereum side, says Blobfish King. Okay, cool. Katie's in there too. I've got some weird thing going on there with the thing there, but Katie's in house. All right, so let's get on to it, folks. Let's have a look at the price at the moment. So as I said, we're trying to find the bottom. We're still not in the bottom. I think it's pretty clear with the price action. But will we go lower? That's another question, right? Will we go lower at this stage? While the market's holding up, while we've got BTC holding up over 30 or fighting around this battle line. Look how long it's been battling here. Let's get rid of that thing there. Well, it's been battling in this line for quite a long days. Let's say it's been there for a month now. So BTC's been fighting around this support line here, 29,400 for about a month. So but all the lines are pretty bearish here. And of course, when we cross the 100-day moving average there too, it's pretty bearish. So we will we'll just have to wait. I think a 2/3, 1/3 chance of it going down to 23,000. We'll see how we get on. But at this stage, just failing to break up, really failing to break up and turn these numbers around. So yeah, we got a lot of volatility in the world, and financially and geopolitically. So that's probably not going to change. Brazil says, "What's up, KD? Hey, brother KD, in the house." So yeah, that's where we're at this stage. We got the Hex price at 5.2, almost 5.3 cents. The high today is 5.7, and we're just mulling around here at this stage. Still, we haven't quite closed this here yet. The yellow 13 EMA is at 6.5 cents versus the 50% Bollinger Band at just under 7.2. So we'll say 0.6 of a penny is the gap there. We need to close that, and of course you can see that in previous movements that when we get the EMA moving over the 50% Bollinger Band, we can get our uptrend reversal, which is what we're looking for. Right? Where's the bottom? I suspect that this is the last step down, assuming we have the markets hold up here at this level. This would be the last step down in my view. We're just trying to find that last little confirmation. Maybe it's a double tap on 3.6 cents. Maybe that's a double tap, and then maybe on the way up there. This is assuming no good news from Richard about Pulsechain, and of course no bad news around the markets in terms of Bitcoin moving down to 22, 23. That's kind of my key assumptions there. And of course we want to close this gap here. We want the yellow line to cross over the red line and help to give us a confirmation of the movement up there. We've certainly got plenty of room on the RSI, plenty of room here to do a nice little rally as well. But once again, we've still got the sellers, they're still in control, but the buyers may start to, on the DMI here, start to move up. We're watching that pretty closely over the next, say, 3 to 7 days is kind of the outlook. See what we've still got to go before we get some sort of bottom, and hopefully. So that's kind of where I feel about that at this stage. Very tentative, and that's where we are with the chart here. So cool whip on that one. Let us jump out to the whale. Now I've got the title here, David versus Goliath. And of course, it's not just one David, it's like thousands and thousands of Davids versus a couple of Goliaths. It's more like that. But I didn't have time to animate all that. I didn't have time to do it. But a couple thousand Davids versus the Goliath there, a couple of Goliaths. And of course, we've got a Hex price battle between retail and some whales. So retail has actually been holding us up. It's been holding us up in this price range and defending this price area between 3.6 cents and 6.8 cents here, even up to 8.2 here. So it's kind of been defending this line, and it's mostly retail buying, right? Because the candles that are sending this down are the large holders. Let's call them large holders. They're the ones sending us down. And of course, today we saw another one happen. And of course, 3 hours ago, we got this one here, 9 million Hex sold, plus another 3 million. So it was 12 million Hex sold. And of course, this account is quite large, right? I think they have another, they have 2 big stakes coming out well into the future, and they restaked, I think it was 80 million in the next, coming out in July. So you can see the sell down there in terms of USDC. Maybe they just wanted a bit of dry powder. Maybe that's all that they wanted to get to. But just another one of these large holders there as well. So that is pretty much that. We actually can go on this transaction on the site here. It's got a comment here. Shark number 42 Byte, 16.6 million, 100% stake. Next one coming out in 25 days for 80 million. So it gives you a nice summary of what's going on here from HexiCat. And of course, you can see the details here in depth. So 6.6 million there coming out there. Shark number 42. So not as big as the how many TShares there? 23,800 TShares. So not as big as the Maximus stake, which is sitting at number 29 and number 30, but pretty big nevertheless there. So that's the big whale there. So obviously we've been fighting a couple of these. The retail has to eat a lot of the stuff up, right? So if someone sells down 12 million, if we want the price to stay the same or higher, we have to have the retail book buy all that stuff up, which is good from the point of fact that the retail Hex gets distributed to more people. But of course, you still need the economic energy to consistently go. Every time a whale sells down some stuff, you need continual financial injection, and most of it's coming from the small retail book. So that's probably small medium. So let's say small medium retail book there. Now that's pretty much what we got. Ultra Rect here from Tyrannosaurus Rex there. Got a couple other comments as well. He has 370 million Hex stakes, 10 stakes, average stake 4.4 years. So it's another view of the position there, 23,000, so forth. So look at that, earning $8,000 interest a day. So there we are with the Hex there. But he has got a stake that's quite far out too. The big one, 50 million, I think, is quite far out. You can see another one here coming out 2030, different stakes in here as well. So some interesting stuff there that people pull up. Don't you love that? They do all the research for you on the chain. So that's pretty cool. So that's coming up there. And so, it's really the retail book has to keep fighting to hold this price up. But it's good in the sense that it gets distributed to more people. Obviously, if the price is down at 5 cents instead of 10 cents, you're getting a way more volume. And of course, as a lot of the retail book that's coming in, that's like a really attractive level to pick up Hex. And not only that, you've got you can get TShares really cheaper. So we're talking about the next part being TShares and Pulsechain Pumpamentals. Obviously, you're going to be able to get so many more TShares now. And of course, we can see that on the Hex charts. So we're going to go to Hex on our Hex daily stats. Actually, we're going to Hex daily stats, and you can see that on Hex stats there that you can. That's not Hex stats. That's not Hex 6. I still got the other chart one there. I want to go to Hex daily stats, and you can actually see the better volume that you can get in terms of TShares. So TShare at the moment will cost you $1,209 to get enough Hex for that, and 22,740 Hex. Obviously, if you do a 10-year stake, then it's only a third of this price. So at the moment, a TShare for 10 years is $400. So $400, that's really, really good at the moment. So people are collecting up TShares. I think I saw Hex is the way, so he's going to get another 10 TShares. I think I saw him on Twitter talking about getting another 10 TShares. So the retail book is definitely trying to accumulate as many TShares as they can and play the long game, right? We have a lot of short-term whales. We have, like the whale we just looked at that sold to 12 million. Obviously, they've got a pretty good staking ladder out going out to the future. But we've still got to absorb that sort of large holder supply as it comes into market. Obviously, we've got a lot of short-term stakers, so we can actually see that on our chart as well. We've got a lot of short-term stakers, as we always talk about, that got large holdings, but they're getting diluted over time, and also getting subject to volatility in the market because they don't. Hex is all about getting TShares and staking, and the staker class will win out in the long term. That's the aim. And of course, if supply and demand and liquidity play into play, that should all come to fruition, right? And of course, we can see at the front here, this is where most of the short-term large holders are staking, like 1 month, 2 months, 3 months. And of course, they are getting diluted over time, but they are pretty much keeping their stuff relatively liquid within 3 months. Also, they're getting passive income and taking that out of the pool, pool every month or 2 months or 3 months or whatever. Some are even short stakes at 7 days, depending on whether they've got large holdings. So, but they are getting diluted by the share rate, and that's been quite dramatic recently. So, like I said, if I think it was 755 Hex increase in the share rate just on one day, that was $60. That was the second biggest day, but that's per T-share. So if they've got 1,000 T-shares, that's a pretty hefty increase there. So $60 per T-share, so pretty big one there. $66,000 on 1,000. That's pretty big stuff there. So these is kind of our ladders coming out, and you can see the ladders actually, the towers actually breaking up compared to what they were last year. That last year they were dramatic. There were big billion-dollar candles all over the place, $500 million candles that really is starting to break up. But it's a multi-year process, and we're talking maybe 5-7 years, and of course we will have Pulsechain with a copy on there too. We're gonna have 2 chains operating. That's the other thing. So very, very cool in terms of picking up T-shares, and of course you're gonna get a payout at the moment of about 6.13 per T-share. So it's a pretty good value at the moment in terms of picking up T-share price. Obviously, if the Hex price rebounds, then the income just goes up and up and up. And obviously, it's really a supply and demand thing. So there's going to be opportunities for some and less opportunities for others. Some will pay, some will not pay, depending on what choices they make. But typically, T-share owners are playing the long game and should win out. Well, short-term players are going to get, some of them will get wrecked with volatility. Some of them will get wrecked with the share rate, of course, going against them as well. So there's a couple of factors going into play there. The other thing, of course, is that the retail book has to battle the larger holders as they exit over time. And, of course, they have to consume, buy up all that stuff as well. So it's personally a win-win, but also from a global perspective, it's also helps the system get better with a more distributed allocation of Hex over time, including big paydays, right? For people early in stake as well. Then that gets redistributed in part to stakers. And of course, the rest goes to the OA wallet. And of course, that actually lowers effective inflation. So it's just really cool. So they can do that with penalties. They can also do that through staking, right? They can regulate the APY and also take that Hex that they get as well, either good account it or take that as their own payments. And of course, that is lowering the effective Hex. If you see the OA as a wallet that never sells, then that's really positive from both sides. So the inflation is going to be much lower over time, than up to 3.65% because of those factors. So it's going to be pretty cool. So yeah, that is the pump interval there. But the other pump interval, of course, we're going to get into is so if you can pick up T-shares for that price, it's really good. You can actually set up staking ladders, right? So here we are on stakehex.today, and of course you can play around with this. You can find this on Discord under useful links. So stakehex.today. I'll post this in the chat though, just in case people want to see it. So post that. Bam. Here we go. Hey, we got Mix Crypto Arts in the house there. Hey, good to see you. Cheers for the stream, champ. Hey, Mix Crypto Arts, good to see you. And Crypto Maniac as well. Hello. It's good to see some of the usuals in the house there. Good afternoon, says Brendan. Hey, Brendan, good to see you too. Cooling down at night in California, finally 100 at daytime. Oh, thank goodness for that. Hardy Excellorian. Just noticed hidden bullish divergence on your daily chart. That's pretty cool, says Crypto Maniac. Hey, we aim to help. That's for sure. Sandeep in the house is from Calcutta, India too. Hey, we've got 2 people from Calcutta, India watching at the moment. Big shout out to you both and to the Indian community in Hex. Very cool. I had a Hexalorian in the house. I like summer, but killing you to work outside. Yeah, that's true. Right, so there's that stakehex.site that we're looking at here. You can actually just put in the amount that you would like to stake on a staking ladder. So a Hex, you can do staking ladders where you stake it like every different time periods. Maybe every 6 months you got a stake coming out. Maybe every year you got a stake coming out. Maybe every 3 years, whatever fits your passive income. Obviously, mathematically, longer pays better. So doing 15.2-year stakes is the maximum mathematical benefit. In particular, the last 5 years, between 10 and 15 years, the ramp up and payout goes up dramatically as T-shares really drop off. So that's really powerful from that. Also, inflation is based on minted Hex. So obviously, by that time, the minted Hex will be much harder. And of course, the inflation will be higher. But that being said, the OA plays a pretty big role, as do penalties for lowering the effective inflation rate over time. So it's pretty cool. So yeah, you can play around with that. What I've got here, $5,000 It'll get you 95,000 hex at the moment. We did 5 stakes there, maximum 10 years, which is the maximum benefit. When you stake hex, you get 20% more shares. So you swap your hex, take your hex, you swap it for shares. Your shares determine how much of the reward pool you get. That's it. That's hex in a nutshell. You take your hex, you swap it for shares when you put up your stake, and then whatever your shares is a proportion of all shares will determine how much of the reward pool you get. That's made up of inflation and 50% of penalties. So that's pretty much it in terms of understanding hex there. Once again, you can do a staking ladder, and of course longer pays better, pretty much that. So we're going to click the view there and see what the view is on that one. Hopefully this is going to work when we're live streaming. There we are, bam. So there's 5 years to stakes there. What it's going to do, because we did 10 years being the maximum, it's going to give us even intervals for 10 years. We want, so 10 years with 5 stakes is going to give us 2-year intervals for the stakes material, which is actually pretty good, right? I think it's pretty good. Obviously longer pays better for the, so if we're doing the same amount for each stake, $1,000 here, 1,000, 1,000, 1,000, 1,000, it's going to, the stakes that are further out are going to get the best results, because we're going to have the most shares. Because as I said, when you swap your hex, you get 20% more shares per year, up to 200%, which is 10 years, right? So 10 times 20% is 200%. So you get 200% more shares. And of course, the stakes further out are going to get a lot better results. And so you can change around with this. So you've got your stakes in here. It'll give you your interest and your principal and your total in terms of dollars of that as well. You can actually, this on US dollars, so you can actually switch it over on the right here and click hex here as well. So you can, it swaps it over to hex, so that you can think about it in terms of hex. So it's pretty cool. And of course you can also what else can we do? I think we can also go into I think we do current, current on there. That will give you that view. So there's different views you can have. I think we've got overview as well. Your overview is interesting, but projected is pretty cool. And with the projected, you've got your 5 stakes there, and of course you can then change the prices around too. So maybe you think in 2023 the price is not going to be 99 cents, currently 5 cents. Maybe you think it's going to be 50 cents or something like that. You can do that. Now remember, you're going to get a copy of your hex stakes at the moment, a copy on Pulsechain, so you're getting a 2-for-1 deal. After Pulsechain launches, that won't be possible, right? People have to buy hex individually on either Ethereum or on Pulsechain. That's just the way it's going to be. So remember that. Now this got a price out here for 2024, so you can lower that. It's going to change all the numbers for you. It's pretty cool like that. You can play around with the price there. It's pretty neat. The other thing, of course, is not just the price of hex, but also the amount of hex per T-share that you get. You can play around with that. Obviously, over time, there's going to be less shares, and therefore the T-share rate, the payout per T-share is going to go up over time. And so you can play around with that just by moving the line there. So I'm saying maybe in 2025, I think it's going to be as high as 10 hex per T-share. Remember, at the moment, it's 6.2. Maybe I think it's going to be 10.1 by 2025. So what's that? 1, 2, 3 years away. Maybe I think it's going to be there. And of course, I can, if I think it's going to be higher, I can change it up to 11 there as well. Probably the only ones I've seen do good modeling with that is the KSBT Crypto Sparbook guys have done a modeling, but even that is based on assumptions. So it could be wildly different from that. I tend to think that a lot of those assumptions will be conservative. The only unknown there is the hex price, is what I'd say. But in terms of the payout per T-share, I think it's going to be pretty exciting to see the payout over hex per T-share. And you got to remember the staking class is going to decline over time. So there's going to be smaller number. Well, there's going to be stores. Let me put it this way: the staking class won't decline over time in terms of numbers, but in terms of the actual T-shares, because the share rate's going up and it's harder to get T-shares. That's pretty much it. A lot of the penalties and other things are floating into the origin account, so that is vacuuming up a lot of the hex supply. If you saw the video I did today, you can already see that the circulating supply of hex is down to 3% in terms of users or the public, and of course the total amount of hex is also down because it's now sitting in the OA and Sacrifice accounts. So we've also got the MetaMask wallet coming up, Sacrifice, so that could eat up some more of that 17.7 billion. Now this is a good estimate based on Gunther the accountant's hex audits. And of course, that's based on not confirmation of the accounts being OA wallets, but of the behavior of the big payday. And of course, the AA lobby, they're tracking all those accounts and doing all that hard work there to set that up. So that's based on those assumptions. You've got to take that into account. But it's the best estimate that I've seen out there. Always open-minded to anything else, but that really is kind of the best stuff out there at the moment. The other thing, of course, is that that over time we're going to get more and more people, right? More growth, and that happens every day. We see that in the daily stats that we're growing every day, but we can grow a lot faster. You know, we are still pre-viral, and I think Pulsechain, the highest of stakes, and all those good things coming in the community will help us get more viral. And things like investment vehicles like Hex Investment Trust will connect us into the big institutions, and of course new products developments within crypto like Maximus, Hedron, Flex, and things like that. And I suspect many more will take Hex out of that supply. So that's 17.7 between all those different things, including the OA. It could really decline over the multi-year period as well, accelerating the payout. And so it's going to be fun to watch that, man. This is going to be really a fun ride. Awesome. Let's get excited about that. So there we are. Obviously, the price can still fluctuate. You don't need a lot of Hex around to fluctuate. To send the price, even if we get down to 10 billion, you can still have markets go through the price cycles. Doesn't really stop that. Of course, if there's a lot of people buying at the particular time, that's going to be unlikely because as markets go through cycles, also as we go through higher price periods, we go to another new high, say $1, then you're going to have more people who are large holders from the past early in stake and sell into that. So there's going to be ebbs and flows in Hex, and of course we're trying to find the bottom of the current one at the moment. I think after the 13th price rise, we're trying to find that bottom at the moment, but it does give opportunities to a whole ton of new investors, the retail book. So pretty exciting. All right, so you can play around with that calculator to your heart's content. If you want to get further information around that, like I say, look at the Crypto Spa book or the KSB TV YouTube. They have a couple. They've done 2 videos, I think, annual. They may have a 3rd video as well that they did the 2nd year presentation. But it's got some pretty good modeling on there. Just take that into account. Just always take into account the assumptions that people are making in terms of the predictions. Sometimes they can be overly conservative, which is good because you want to be on the conservative side. So it's pretty neat. All right, so that is the Hex. And of course, if you want to do that, you can connect your wallet on the site, or alternatively, if you want to stay really conservative, you can do your stake calculations on here. And of course, then you can set them up manually here on go.hex.com as well. So you can do it on here just by connecting your wallet up as the official site for hex.com, which we saw over here. Very, very cool. All right, so nice on that one. You can get all these links, of course, and useful links here on Discord. So if you haven't joined Discord, definitely join up. All the links are here as well. So you've got all the Hex links in here. We've got layman's guides, all the contracts addresses, staking front ends here, go.hex, that's the where we were talking about there. That's the staking site there, and so on. So all the audits for Hex, Pulsechain, Pulsex, etc. You can go through all these at your heart's content, and we're going to make this the ultimate list there. Very, very cool. So that's pretty nice. Let's jump over to the next setup. We're going to get into Pulsechain. Now we've talked about Hex as a pumpamental. Obviously, getting TShares, that's a pumpamental because you're going to earn. That's what it's designed for, to get TShares to earn a Hex per day. So that's the way you want to go. Of course, it's always good to have a balanced portfolio, have a bit of liquid as well. And of course, you never know what you might need for a rainy day. Pulsechain's coming up. Maybe you want to do a bit of ratio trading. There's all sorts of things that you might want to do there. And of course, with the second part coming up, of course, Pumpamentals is Pulsechain. You're going to get 2 for 1 on Pulsechain. We're just going to be patient for when it launches. We're going to play a little video from Richard, but before we do that, we're going to get into some of the more content in there as well. Sam's in the house there with the emojis, and Brendan's in there with the Hexladder web.app. So yeah, definitely check that out. Up to you, Superman. I use this staking table as well. Yeah, I might go through that on another day, Brendan. I was going to go through that today, but I might do that on another day. And keep that as well. So let me just take a copy of that. All right, cool. I'll paste that there too in the useful links there, the one that Brennan's put up there. Gives good grasp, so you can look at the averages and best effective Hex depending on how many stakes you make. Yeah, I might cover that tomorrow, Brennan. Dave down under versus Goliath. Yeah, that's right, Dave. You got it. That's exactly right. Time for you to work. Thanks, Superman. See you on the replay. Hey, Hex Bugger, have a good day at work, man. And peace out for you. All right, cool. That's where we're at the stage. Let's get on to the next bit. We've got, obviously, we're going to get into Pulsechain. Pulsechain Pumpamentals are coming. So we're going to talk about that now. Let's get into it. Bam.
craziest part of the helicopter is when he does his turns, and you're like, hard to the right, hard to the left. This, I don't know, maybe he thinks it's more fun than just kind of like going like that. You can tell how far up we are because the trucks that move all of the land and the earth around doing mining and stuff, they look like little Tonka toys. They're like little yellow dots. When the engine stops, you die straight.
The pilot has a heart attack. Who's jumping in the seat, me or you?
You, because you're closer. And you've flown on an airplane before, so it's you. True. I'll complain though from my side. From my side, I'll be complaining.
Watch that mountain.
All right, so that's our intro for Pulsechain. So Pulsechain's coming up, and of course we've got the testnet at the moment. That's like just ticking away. V2B. That's the third public testnet, and yeah, the first one was 77 days. The second one was 103 days. This one here must be about 2.5 months now. I need to double check the days on that, but it must be about that. The other thing, of course, is V3 is being is tested in private testnet there by the devs, and of course they are doing a code rewrite. So we're going to look at a couple of updates there from Richard. These are the latest ones that we've had since May. So we're going to quickly check out this of where Pulsechain is at this stage. So we've got a couple of updates here. 23rd of May, we had Pulsechain update. The validator rotation / delegating code has been mostly rewritten. So the validator rotation / delegating code has been mostly rewritten. So that's the key words there. That was the 23rd of May. So it was mostly rewritten already by the 23rd of May. We're currently over 2 weeks from there at the moment, the 9th, and of course that's just over 2 weeks. So that's where we're at this stage, and partially implemented in native Go. So mostly written and partially implemented in native Go, outside of the EVM, and of course thus not in Solidity, and for much higher throughput. So that was the update we had on 23rd of May. This means that the Pulsechain is getting faster, safer, and more powerful. So I guess that the ultimate answer to that is that it's going to future-proof the chain a lot longer, especially as it gets filled up with demand, and as more people from Ethereum and other people come into the chain. It should really help with that. Pulsechain will not be launching this month was the other update we got, May the 23rd. So there was a bit of a disconnect in communications between certain statements that were said on certain YouTube channels, and of course with what actually happened. So we'll just have to take that and just move on. I will keep up my outrage marketing, which has definitely been happening. It's a bit of a mixed bag between outrage marketing and fashion shows. So it's a bit like that. The metrics look good though. So obviously growing the community is still moving along there. On the 23rd of May, we also go, by the way, some people like the idea of launching at the bottom of a bear market. So for those people, they probably love the delays. There was always a certain amount people that think that launching a bear market's better. I am not in that camp myself. I guess I'm in another camp. Which camp I am? Another camp. All right. So then on the 4th of June, we got another update. So that was only a couple of days ago. Was it 5 days ago? Pulsechain update for non-English speakers. So for those who are non-English speakers out there, it's still being programmed. Validator rotation, jailing, and more. So it's a jailing and more, and also learn English. It's great, says Richard. So there we are. So it's still being programmed, validator rotation. So still in process by the 4th there, based on that tweet there. Then of course on the 6th there, I thought this was pretty interesting. This was 2 days later. When Pulsechain.com comes out, I'm going to flex on all your haters so hard the internet breaks. I love that. That's what we like to hear. Of course, come out. I'm going to flex on all your haters so hard that the internet breaks. So I like that. That is pretty cool. So that's kind of bullish for Pulsechain. Just tidying up things a little bit there. I like that. That's the sort of language I like, folks. That is what feels good about Pulsechain coming up, giving good, strong signals like that. So cool. So that's pretty much that. So we've got Pulsechain coming up. Obviously, the biggest airdrop in crypto history, the biggest yield farming potentially in crypto history. The fastest way to mass adoption, which is really the killer there on the chain between Ethereum and Pulsechain, and of course cross-chain bridges as well, and bringing over those particularly the ECR20 copies, stables and non-stables over to pair up with the PRC versions in the PulseX. I think it's going to be exciting to see. We're going to have AMM bot trading pairs. We're going to have a project trading pairs, pre-bridge, and of course post bridge as well. And then we're going to have ERC20 pairs as well, or bridge pairs as we like to call them, setting up. So we could have PulseX not only with PulseX but other AMMs as well, and also with active trading pairs, 5,000-6,000 active trading pairs, and of course much more. It's going to be really exciting, folks, to see it ramped up. Now, I know there's some people that are more conservative on the price ups there, and others that are a bit more exciting on that. I think I'm on the conservative side. I definitely think that we're going to get some bullish. I think the demand is going to be so high, but it also, sentiment does also matter. So at the times, the sentiment matters at the moment. there are a couple of ways of pricing where we think the market's going to go. We know there's going to be volatility straight out of the gate, but I have a feeling that Pulsechain is really going to do extremely well. And so I think being conservative in terms of where you think it's going to go. We know we have a lot of hex skins in the Pulsechain Sacrifice, and there might have been around 50,000 wallets all up, including non-Ethereum wallets. And we know that quite a few hex skins dominated that. I think, if I remember rightly, someone did some numbers, maybe around a third of the whales were hex skins at least. But we know that a lot of big YouTubers got into that. Some of the big ones, and a lot of other people in there as well. So we have certain hex skins that are very sticky, and of course stake out well. We have others that are not so much. And of course, then we have a lot of other people who are typically crypto people. So we know a certain amount of them will sell as well. But if any of them has done their study on the blockchains, they know that blockchains typically do well over time. So you're talking about 9 months to 2 years, 3 years, they do pretty well. Obviously we're copying with first system state copy of Ethereum. That's a big deal. The market's taking notice. There might be some gatekeeping, possibly from certain cartels, like you know what they are. I won't say them out loud because maybe they will participate in some form. But we're gonna have a bit of that going on too. But Pulsechain's going to be so big, and of course in crypto, so many people are going to come and use it. It's going to be really powerful. We just have to be patient until it launches, and then it's going to ramp up pretty fast. I imagine we have a lot of people come out of the woodwork. I suspect we're going to have a lot of the big YouTubers that sacrifice come out pretty strong as well. And that we could get some pretty nice X returns there. It's going to be pretty fun to see that play out. Now, there's different ways of modeling. People do it with all sorts of fancy models, factoring bullishness, how much we might get, how much we might get of Ethereum users, how much we might get of PulseX, Uniswap sort of demand, things like that. So there's lots of different models out there. And some people have got, a 10x factor in there, 5x factor out of the gate. Some people, because of people selling, the weekend selling for 2-3x, keeping the price down. But I think there's going to be so much demand on the amount of original Pulsechain wallets. And I think a lot of the bigger wallets are definitely long game players. That's really that middle ground, that kind of dolphin shark area that you might get a few that might sell down into, small X's. But I definitely feel 0001, the price should be well above that. For both Pulsechain and PulseX, and definitely it's going to be an interesting battle, I think, between a 5 and a 10x area in the pools. But I suspect that because there's only so few Pulsechain wallets, and that we could get with PulseX, and of course with all the airdrop holders, and then of course everybody coming over the bridge, that we could see potentially hundreds of wallets to one wallet, and of course that could create some incredible pricing in there for Pulsechain and both PulseX, but Pulsechain first and then PulseX second in that order. So it's going to be fascinating. I have been thinking a lot about getting more PulseX, so that's kind of if I see any opportunity there, I'm definitely thinking about that a lot. If people are going to go that way, so it's definitely food for thought there. I kind of feel for PulseX at the moment, I got 1 or 2 cents in my head there for the top of the range there in the first 6 months. But of course the market can do awesome things. I'm expecting maybe if we do really well with the PulseX, with the turnover, we may get about 4% of burn that year in the first year of burning in terms of volume. That could be quite good. So maybe we could get, maybe, I don't know, just off the top of my head, maybe 4 or 5% burning. That would be pretty cool. It's hard to price that in because you don't know how much is going to be inactive liquidity. and how much actual liquidity you're going to have in the pool. I imagine it's going to be relatively thin because obviously that's how it's pushed prices up the easiest. So as thin as that can be, it's going to be positive having a smaller liquidity pool to get those big X returns. So we could see some pretty stellar prices in the game that blow past your modeling, depending on which way you're doing it. So you can model for market cap. That's kind of the most conservative way, but it's kind of realistic as well in some ways. But that I kind of think about market cap around the public supply. So that's where I get to my 1 or 2 cent mark there, doing that approach. Now, if you do a bottom-up approach where you're modeling all sorts of other different factors, you can get your prices way up to 10, 30 cents, $1 as well. So depending on where the all-time low is within, say, 2 years, you could see yourself up at those high ends. And I think Brennan asked something earlier about PulseX. So you could definitely, under the right circumstances, if you can get the actual active supply in the liquidity really low, you could get up to that $1 mark under those type of modelings. But from a market cap point of view, based on the public supply, let's say 17 trillion, 7.2 trillion, 17.3 trillion, somewhere in that ballpark for PulseX, then you would, on a straight line, simple basis, you would price that in at 1 or 2 cents. But definitely, I think that if you model it differently, you could easily get up to 10, 30 cent mark, and then even up to, depending on how you look at it, up to $1, up to 10,000, up to $1 mark there. So I think it's pretty fascinating. I'm going to do some more thinking about that, but it's kind of where I feel at the moment. So let me know in the chat what you think. We're going to get in some comments as well. Let's have a look here. We've got a few more comments. We've got human hex trafficker in the house there. What's up, family? I'm buying a Russian yacht like it's going to save the world. Nice one, human hex trafficker. You have to post some pictures in Discord with that. Need the Airwolf theme song, says. Yeah, for the helicopter. Yeah, I agree with you. Davis in the house there. Another Hex Token channel member. Hex Lawrence says RH Heart documentary looks interesting. Only the movie logo needs a real branding designer. Really weak, looks cheap, and not the quality of the movie. No movie title design. Yeah. Hex in the Ways in the house there. Thanks for the stream. Hey, Hex is the Way. I saw you on Twitter. Did you say you're going to get 10 TShares? I just commented on that earlier. I'm pretty sure I saw you say that. Let him know in the chat. Human Hex says, I would buy a Russian vessel for a penny at Satoki, or something like that. Pulsechain Pulsex launch now, says PulseX Millionaire. Yeah, we're all looking forward to it. Patience. We're coming up on a year. 15th of July will be a year from the sacrifice. So we're coming up on that pretty soon. So what's that, a month and just, was it 5 weeks away, something like that. Brennan says, I asked if you could get 50 cents, but I would be stoked to get to 10 to 30. Yeah, I kind of feel 10 to 30 is kind of where I think it could get to. These are people that hold, of course, hold. I've looked at some modeling with a lot of complexity in it from the down up, and it's there's too many moving parts. There's just too many moving parts. You're assuming this, assuming that, assuming this, and they often come out some pretty incredible outcomes, and it's just like, yeah, well, but I think for me, I come back to the most conservative approach, and that is like a market cap approach. So yeah, but I'm gonna do a burning model, and I'll come back with those numbers. Charlie says, I'd be super happy for Hex in the 20 cent range. Says Bruce, yeah. Oh, Hex in the 20 cents, yeah. Hex is the way, says yes. Okay, doing 10 T-shares, nice. These times are great for T-shares. They are $400 a T-share at the moment. Pretty good opportunity. And of course, the T-share rate's going to go up over time. Man. That the other day when we got the increase of 755, that was just insane. You can see that back here on day 9/11, we got 555 Hex increase there on the T-share. $60 it was that day, just in one go. Like I say, that's a huge amount. So we're on day 920 at the moment, and 10,095 days will be 3 years in the Hex journey. So it's pretty amazing. We are getting there, man. We're growing up, that's for sure. And yeah, the battle is on. David versus Goliath. As I say, there's probably thousands of Davids versus a few Goliaths at the moment. But congratulations to the retail book. I mean, people are picking up more volume, and of course, they are the ones actually the champions defending the price at the moment. and against some of the other ones there. And we don't know, some of those are committed, hex stakers, the large whales. Some of them are speculators that end up staking in staking, but that's just where we go. We had lots of drama, right? We had the drama in here with large accounts selling. We've had large accounts in here selling. We had one today sell. So we've definitely got to absorb that volume distribution as we go. Cool. But this is what we're waiting for. This is the golden like here. Can I find a circle? Let's find a circle here. I've got to find the pictures first. Where's the right pictures? What says the picture? Yeah, I think that's right. Let me have a look here. I'm not sure if this is the one here. Let's find it. Let's just do an arrow. So this here is what we're looking at. This closing this gap here between the red line and the yellow line. Yellow line needs to cross over the red line, and then I think we're barring a move down on Bitcoin. We're looking at a trend reversal. We might finally hit that bottom, which would be cool. Did you say $400 per T-share? Yeah, that's what I said, Davis. Yep. So what we're talking about is if you did a 10-year stake. That's very important that you take that into account. This is for a 10-year stake. It's currently $1,200 a T-share at the moment, but if you did a 10-year stake, that'd be effectively $400 because you get 200% more shares per year for 10 years. 200% more shares for 10 years. So yeah, it'd effectively be a lot lower. In fact, we've got the stake there. So if we had, let's do the math there. We'll do the math live on this channel. There we go. So we've got you need 22,740 T-shares. So let's go 22740, and we'll divide that by 3. That would give us 7,580 hex is what you need to buy. And of course, if you did, so 758, let's put that in our staker there. 7,580. That's going to give us a 0.333 of a T-share if we put in 10-year stake. So 3641. That's going to give us a 1 T-share there. So slightly lower. Maybe I'll put 2 days in there. Let me just put number of days in here, 5. So going to give us. I'm just trying to round it up there. Let me 5. Give me 5. Give me 9. At least we'll put 9 there. It's almost 10. That's 1 T-share, but it's got 999. Oh, your rat bag. 51. Let's go. Let's do 80. We'll go to 80 days. Hopefully that's going to get to 1. It's still 999, but it basically gives you 1. I have to increase this. Maybe this is 90. We'll do 90 on there. We'll go 41. 641. 641. There we go. I've got 1 T-share there, so it's just slightly higher there. Let's do 85. Let's do 85. But that's basically 3/4. 85. That'll give you 1 T-share. There we are. 85. So if you take 585 times the current price of Hex, which is 0.53, 0.053. That's $402. So $402. There we are. We did that live. That was good. That was just for Davis there. Good morning from London, Hex family, Hex Isles and House. Hey, big shout out to everybody from the UK, man. You guys are all just waking up over there, so it's good to have you in the house. Must be over 7 o'clock now. Surely it's over 7 o'clock there. Hex's Way says welcome. Yeah, definitely welcome. Nice one. Hey, Hex's Way, are you doing much on? You still working, spreading the word in Korea? Let me know. Let me know if you're still spreading the word in Korea there. Feel free if you want me to post. I'll post a link on here too. If you want to jump on the live show, just let me know. If you want to jump on, you can give us an update about your onboarding in South Korea, because I'm actually quite keen on that. I think that we need a lot more out into the Asia region there. So especially with how big Korea and Japan and stuff are in crypto, China and places. So cool. All right, so yeah, we've gone through all the updates from Richard. I'm going to bookmark these. I'm bookmarking all the Richard ones, and so we'll have all the link list here. So this is something I was playing around with today on Twitter, because I was always going through and searching for all the links, and I was like, damn, it's got to be a simple way of doing that. And of course, it has a bookmark, so pretty cool on that. Who's put on the like there? Summer Daryl. Hey, good old Summer. Summer must be around somewhere. So cool. Don't forget, if you haven't gotten to Discord, get in there. We're 19 members away from 500. That's 500. So definitely get in there and join up. Hex's Way says, I will jump on soon. My family is headed to Korea this week. Awesome. Yeah, let me know, Hex's Way. You can either just contact me in Discord or leave a comment on the channel here, or get me on Token Hex on Twitter and DM me there. That'd be cool, and it'll be fun to do. All right, cool. Let us get on to something else. We're going to have a look at a bit of a video break, and we're going to have a look at one of Richard's updates today. Let's do that. Bam.
I think Tony Robbins seminars are pretty great. You know, he doesn't have everything perfect, but he's got it 80% right. So maybe his finance stuff isn't that great. Maybe his health stuff's okay. But his Date with Destiny, Unleash the Power Within, human needs psychology, that kind of stuff. I think that's really his best material, So if you can go to the $3,000 or $5,000 Date with Destiny event, it's a great event, And that guy's had his own name as his own brand for 30, 40 years or something like that, and it's worked out pretty well for him. I always said, if you're gonna be in the self-help game, learn from the guy who self-helped himself the hardest and has the best, he's the most successful success guy. You're he's obviously doing something right. I think that I improved on a lot of his stuff, and you can read it for free at t.me/sci-vive. Free self-help books, read them, they're good. I wrote them. And I look, hey, worked out okay for me.
So that was pretty cool there from Richard and Tony Robbins. I have watched a couple of videos on Tony Robbins, not going to the conference because it's not my sort of thing, but watching other people go to those conferences. Pretty interesting. Let me know if you've gone to a Tony Robbins conference in the chat there. Hex away says, so busy, but when they are traveling, I will have more time to stream. Very cool, Hex's way. I appreciate that. Komnat sumnida, annyeonghaseyo. Komnat sumnida, annyeonghaseyo. So cool. Hex is the way. Yeah, that's a bit of Korean that I know. Hopefully that would make me survive in North Korea if I accidentally got into North Korea. That's pretty much it. Pearl says live again. Yeah, 2 live streams a day. Pearl, 2 live streams a day. Pulsechain, Pulsex, and Hex. Definitely the place to be. Oh yes, yo, annyeonghaseyo. Annyeonghaseyo. Yes, is Prasaji. Teranhi komatsumnadia annyeonghaseyo. Yeah, there we are. I learned that in how you get those car tapes or car CDs, you put them in your cars and then you just listen to it. That was actually easier. Now, I've tried it on the Chinese language, but the Chinese language is, I think, level 5. It's really hard. So definitely doing the Koreans. I'm not sure if it's a level 4 or 3, but it does seem easier. It's difficult, but easier than the Chinese. I worked for a Korean company for a couple of years. Nice one, Chris. Korean, yeah. That's cool. So very nice. Now, Korea is obviously, the South Korea and North Korea are very different from each other, obviously, but South Korea seems like a pretty cool place. So it seems pretty out when I'm going there, as well as Japan. They're kind of up on the top of my books there. I took my list. Nice. All right, so here we are on the quad charts. We've got Hex on the left there, currently at 5.3 cents. We've got survived that big whale sell of 12 million Hex. And of course, we've got Hedron at 493. Just the last 5 days, just been simmering down the bottom here around the 500 mark. We've got Maxi at the moment at 9.1 cents. And the premium to Hex, drum roll, please. The premium to Hex is 71%. So on the lower end there at the moment, but still holding up at the higher low at this stage on the premium. So who knows if we will break out of this premium over the 82% mark, the top of the band there. But it's been performing pretty well in the day. You can see that. And we'll see whether it can do it. Obviously, if Hex does go up and we do get that trend reversal in the next, say, 3 to 5 days, maybe even 7 days, we could actually, the premium could actually break out or we'll get a positive news. Might have an amplifying effect on Maxi if Hedron, if Hex does get that recovery, that trend reversal, finding that bottom. Pulse Dodge coin still flying. Here is our plane with Gunther, the accountant, on there. And of course, we're at $3.04 there, and the plane has now decided to fly back up. Yeah, this is a very important level. And as I said in the previous live stream yesterday, today, if it can hold this $3 marks, at the worst, if it goes to 275, it can bounce back there. That'd be pretty bullish for Pulse Dodge. And of course, it's 50 days to go, right? 50 days halfway through, and we'll see how we get on. The supply is actually relatively limited. What did we say it was earlier today? 4.6 million, something like that. So I don't know if there's going to be that many at the end. We'll probably get a bit of a late run, but so far so good. Could be a real play for the whale cartel. So we'll see. It takes diamond hands though. It just takes one whale to change the course of history. That's when you've only got 5-6 whales at the top there. It only takes one, right? It only takes one. So yeah, let us jump away. Be very cautious about that. Hex away says, wow, Hex Token and Prozology. Someday we hang out in South Korea for Hex workshops. That'd be cool. Hex is the way. Pimsleur has some good language teaching. Oh, nice. I'll check that out. I think I've seen that before. Hex coin. Yeah, big smiles from Briz, that's for sure. All right, so cool. That is the charts at the moment. Let's have a look at the BNB chain. BNB. Oh my goodness. We've got some stuff there. We've got some drama. Let's pull up the drama. There we go. We're going to look at the BNB first just to see what the price is, whether it's gone up or down. Man. BNB 288. 288, don't be late. That's where 88's pretty lucky in Chinese culture. Market's holding up okay though. Let's see what we got here. Pulse Dodge finally went down. It's been sitting at that 5, this range here, 5.8 to 5.4. Half a cent, but now it's just gone down to close to half a cent exactly, 519 there. So pretty low on there. And of course, the P33 at 20 cents there had a little recovery 2 days ago, went up to 28 cents, but down there. So these are not performing the best at the moment, but we have got a little jump here in IM. IM decided to make a jump. That's pretty cool. That's the daily check candle here. Looks like it's gone from 759 to 900. So it's a bit of a move on there. Let's have a look in the hourly. Just happened in the last hour pretty much, 562 to 901 there. So a bit of a candle there. Someone's decided to buy a position and it's moved the price up there. So IM is made a little jump there. We'll see if it can build on that at this stage. So that's pretty much it for the BNB coins. BNB. We're going to jump over to. We're going to pick up have another video break. Let's pull up the dev one here.
So there is no such thing as perfect security. Perfect security, you have a ratio between the amount of effort you put into being secure and the amount of effort that people are using to attack you. And then you have what's called attack surface. The more places that you have to secure, the less secure a thing is. Hex was more easy to secure than a lot of things because it has a limited number of functions, and most of those functions timed out. So for instance, if there was a flaw in the referral program, that doesn't exist anymore. So it doesn't matter. If there was a flaw in the adoption amplifier, it doesn't exist anymore. It doesn't matter. And so by restricting the number of functions and making the code immutable so that it can never change, it allowed us to be extremely secure, which is why we've never had an inflation bug. We're extremely resistant to inflation bugs, but Bitcoin's had several inflation bugs. Monero's had an inflation bug. XLM's had an inflation bug. Ravencoin's had an inflation bug. Coins have inflation bugs, which basically means you can mint as many free coins as you want all the time, but my coin doesn't. It's just a pure design. Now, Pulsechain, we're using the most secure software that's out there already, which is Ethereum. It's never had an inflation bug, and we're fixing a lot of things. The code that is Ethereum isn't perfect, and we're making it better than what we got.
Yeah, so that's pretty good word from Richard with that video about the Pulse chain. They're going to make it better. So gain some confidence, taking longer than we expected. And of course, Richard will also have a little bit of gamification to it as well. So we'll just have to see it play out as well. Well, obviously, we just got to be patient. We just go with the flow. We're on the train. We don't own the train. We're on the train. Hexonian says, woohoo, Superman, what's that? Don't you think the whale games are going to change for Hex on Pulse? They will do, definitely. I suspect that we're going to get some big whales buying up Hex on Pulse, as well as the liquidity being bonded together, as we always like to say. And there will be more and more smaller wallets and stakers in the future. Agree on all that. Yeah, agree. Brazzi says, I'm so freaking excited about all these projects flourishing on the Pulse chain. I wish I could zap to 1 year from now. Yeah, I agree with you. Now, if you want to see a link of all the projects, at least a lot of them, there are more. I'm going to post a few more projects in here, but we've got new token links here. We've got a whole link of here of projects. There's a couple missing. that are either I consider really crappy or scammy. And of course, there is a couple I'm going to add in here that may be good too. So once again, let us know always if you have some major concern with something that we can reevaluate any of the links there. But definitely, there's a good list for sure. Get into that. What else we got there? Brazil says, I like the violin on Richard's video. Yeah, I thought that was a good one. Some of the other videos have been a bit of a mixed bag with the soundtrack. I think they've had some feedback on that on the highest stakes. But hey, live and learn, live and learn. They're going to have a full orchestra apparently for the film documentary. Apparently they're going to have a actual full movie epic kind of soundtrack from a actual orchestra. So I think I'm pretty sure I heard him say that in a video, the director. Pretty cool. Very sobering, says Bruce. Yeah, those glasses are pretty cool. That's what I thought, Brendan. I thought they were cool too. I thought they were pretty good as well. So funny stuff. Those glasses make me think steampunk. Yeah. Same, Bruce. Yeah. Pretty funny. All right, so we've got liquid lines. This is kind of the biggest news coming up. Liquid lines, and we're still expecting it this week. Like I said, that everything seems to take a few more days, but we'll get there. We'll get there. We're going to get there, I'm sure. But it's currently Tuesday there as well. So that's the way it goes. And we got from Matt's update the other day on his news update that was this week now. So not by Monday, Tuesday, as indicated previously by Jess, who obviously just gives the best indication as he can at the time. But of course, by Matt to give an update to this week. So Matt's going to do a video on that too with the sacrifice balances. And then hopefully we'll get the user tester interface with it. Hopefully they'll both come together because they've had enough time for that as well. So yeah, let's hope that all comes out together. It'll be fun. I don't really care if it doesn't, because if we get one after another, that's cool too. This gives nice news flow coming in. But that'd definitely be cool. Now, 16 hours ago, Jesse, just asked Jesse, posted this link on Liquid Lines, did our homework on bringing Pulsechain, something amazing. But read this because it's important for you to do your own homework as well. This is a cool article here from tokenprice.xyz. So if you really like the technical side, want to get your insights on it, I definitely check this article out that he's posted. It's pretty cool. I'm going to post this in the chat in case you want to have a good read. It's always good to get your technical knowledge up as well, particularly if you're going to participate in liquid lines. And there's a good article overviewing some of these key features in the liquid lines, like money market or loan service, growing with liquidity. Obviously, liquidity is what liquid lines is forked liquidity. Liquidity is sitting on Ethereum, and it's got the very awesome stablecoin LUSD. That is performing very well. I went through that the other day on the video. If you want to check that out, I went through all that about the importance of having a native stablecoin for Pulsechain, and we're lucky. We're very lucky because Liquid Lines is bringing that to us. So we're going to have a native stablecoin. This is before the possibility of Richard Hart doing a Hart stablecoin, which may or may not still be on the cards there. So that was going to be linked to his exchange license, I believe. But they were having issues with that. So we will see if he can get that over the line in the future, maybe still working on that. They've got lots of cool stuff in here about liquidity staking, token staking. And of course, that's, if you just replace names with loan token, so that's liquidity, but if you change it with loan token, it'll be loan token staking. You can just see the actual numbers there. So lots of cool stuff in there. I went through this stuff here about pegging around the $1, so there's extra stuff in there too. And recovery mode, redemption game, decentralized front ends. So really cool. I do encourage you to read this because we're pretty good. And that's going to be Liquid Loans going to be essentially providing the same thing on Pulsechain, but I actually think with a lot more extra stuff around the ecosystem, which is going to benefit us. And so I'm looking for strong stuff around relationships with exchanges, with on-ramps, fiat on-ramps. And I know that Power City is doing that sort of stuff. So it'd be nice to see, to see that built out around the Liquid Line stablecoin. It's going to be really cool. All right, so that is that. Check that out. We're waiting for the sacrifice balances to come out. Hopefully we'll get it this week. And that's the next big thing out of anything I can think of coming up besides Pulsechain itself. So cool. There we are. That is it. How we're doing here. Okay, this says Reflex Hex on Sac is starting soon. Like to get a once over on that reflection. I'll have a look at that. Let's have actually look at the sacrifices and see what's on there at the moment. The sacrifice lists, liquid line sacrifices. We're going to jump away to that. Oh, here it is here. Okay, reflects the Hexion token. We did a poll today, early in the first live stream, and I was actually 50% of the people said that they would actually still sacrifice for a quality sacrifice, which is interesting. I thought that we had a lot more exhaustion in the market than that, and I think it was 1 in 3. Was it? 1 in 3 people either didn't know or were tired, which was kind of a bit surprising. I thought it was going to be the other way around. So that was pretty interesting. So we have got a new one here. Reflex Hexion token. All human beings are being born free and equal in dignity and rights. Is there anything else in there? No, those are all ones that we know of. This is a new one here. So I might add this to the list here. Reflexion token. Starting in 16 hours. I'm not sure much about it. It's got no data, of course. Let's go to the website and have a quick look, see what this is quickly. There's a completely new and unique type of reflection token with great utility to stock up on your favorite pulse chain coins or add to your pulse chain game theory for passive income over time. It's an hourglass. Okay. Simplicity of reflection tokens makes it so great. 50% on all token buys and 50% on tax. Check out your tokenomics section of the website for more details about how the tax is distributed. So this is an hourglass. I'm not a big fan of hourglasses. They rephrase these as like Web 3.0. But yeah, okay, I'll check it out. But not straight off the bat, not a big favor of that. But once again, watch the video. Might have the music on there. Yeah, so you can definitely look at that. Might have a little full review. Let's see what else they got there. Sacrifices on. Roadmap. Got the roadmap, contract deployment, reflection, staking pools, partnership program, reflection, metaverse integration. Yeah, I might look at this a bit more detail. But let's see how many followers they got. 610 followers. So really just new, obviously. So yeah. They've just published reflection on public listing 10 hours ago. So cool. Quick message from our project founder, Stu Man. Stu Man does look familiar to me. I'm not sure. It's good having a docs person on the team. So that's me. I'm all about docs. The docs people. I do prefer those projects by a long shot. So yeah, I'll have a little look at that. And but see that I'm just not a big fan of hourglasses / Web3. Taxes, but we'll see. I'll have a look at check that out. Let me know your thoughts about that in the chat once we do it. But I will probably look at that one a bit closer. Cool VIP, as we say, cool VIP. Let me just nice. I'll have a look at it before I add it to the links there. All right, let us get in the chat there. We've got Katie says, I like RH sunglasses. Yeah, I thought they were pretty cool. Hex's Away says, if you want to do some deep digging on a project, whether it or not it's a legit scam, it is claiming 100,000 transactions a second on your blockchain. Name is Bigger. Seems to have a testnet. Okay, cool. I'll put that on the list too. Let me take a snapshot of that. Bam. Cool. Michael says liquid loans would be great to play while waiting for Pulse Chain. I agree, Michael. I'm looking forward to it, man. That's why I keep bringing it up most days because that's the next big thing. I think everyone staked has replenished their Hex stakes. Everyone staked has replenished their Hex stakes. That's true. That's true, Chris. All right, cool VIP, as we say. We're coming up to an hour and 15. It's 7 o'clock here. Probably going to wrap up now. I think it's a pretty good time, but we're going to play out some rock music on the way out. And of course, we're going to Kirov Power City. I've been playing this the last couple of days. I really like the upbeat. I added the soundtrack myself. That's pretty cool. Hope you guys have a great time. That's an hour and 15. Pretty good. We will wait. Hopefully, Liquid Lanes. When we wake up tomorrow morning, Liquid Lanes will be out with some of their things out. The sacrifice balances, user test or whatever. I'm looking forward to it. Hope you guys have enjoyed yourself. Like I say, be cool and stay cool. And all that good stuff, especially if you're in a hot area. You want to be cool, that's for sure. All right, take care, everybody. We're going to play this out on the way out. Bring on. Everyone says thank you. Rock on. That's right, rock on. Everyone says thank you. Hey, you're welcome, man. Peace, man. Lots of love. That's how we roll here. Take out, let's take that. Yeah, that's true. That's so true, Briz. That's true. All right, take care, everybody. Catch you guys tomorrow. 2 more live streams. Pulsechain, Pulsex, and Hex. Of course, don't forget to subscribe, like, share, hit the bell. Hit the link in the video description to join Discord. We're heading towards 500 members. Awesome. Take care. See you in the next one. Bye for now.